What's up, everybody? It's your man here. One and only that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster. Back at you again. It's real truck and talk on the original road warlords. Same as always, as you come in, give me a sound check, let me know everything good. Tell you what, boy, this Friday went straight to heck, man. Let's see. That's too bad. Well, like I said, got one more week to go and stuff. I had put my vacation off, which I suppose they done the first. I suppose did the first of this month and stuff, and then I put it off to the first of December because what I wanted to do was not two birds out one stone. So it wasn't really a vacation. It was just me going to put the truck in the shop, and being that they were gonna have the truck for a week and I wasn't gonna be doing anything and stuff, I was gonna go out of town. But as I got to work and stuff like that, I just started reflecting on some of the things I did back in the day. And one of the mistakes that I made is always leaving my equipment somewhere for somebody to work on it, and I'm not there physically to see what's going on and stuff, the day by days and stuff like that. And so what's supposed to be laid out to be a simple build and stuff like that will wind up being way over what it's supposed to be and stuff like that. Cause with this transmission rebuild, um, it's not really a rebuild and stuff like that. It's just them taking the transmission, seeing what's wrong with it, and just fixing it. It's not like they're gonna replace all the gears and stuff like that. So um, that's a relatively cheaper fix and stuff than to just replace the whole transmission. The problem is that I got to get somebody else to drop it, and then they take it to the shop, then they work on it, and they bring it back, and then they put it back in the truck. So the guy that was supposed to do it, he's telling me that, he's telling me and stuff where he used the charge and stuff like that. All right, Preach, what's going on with you? Um, yeah, so he was telling me what's going on, what he charged and stuff like that. But then he lets me know, like, hey, the place that, you pay the place that's doing the rebuild and stuff, and then they cut us a check a month later. And so I'm like, you're an independently small shop, and I know you don't be doing work and stuff for them like that. So I'm like, they have to wait 30 days and stuff like that. I mean, dude, I'd rather just go ahead and cut you a check for the labor and cut them a check and stuff for what they're going to do and stuff like that. And then, y'all already in sync with one another. So you already know he's doing the R&R, and y'all doing the, you fixing the part and stuff like that. So I just want to go ahead and get people paid and stuff like that. But apparently it doesn't work that way and stuff. So I said that, I'm still gonna get it rebuilt. It's just if I'm gonna do it, then I have to physically be there and stuff to see, okay, all right, what's the process like? If I drop the transmission off, well, if I drop the truck off, if I'm there in the shop and they see me, then I can take into account what they're doing and stuff like, so they don't charge me nothing ridiculous. Like, well, hey, we got 40 hours of labor and stuff into this thing. We ran into this problem, that problem and stuff, and see, well, I'm way over there in California somewhere, then the only thing I can do is just go by their word and stuff, when I know that dropping the transmission, it's not really hard work. It's 10 bolts. It's 10 bolts followed by dropping the drive shaft. That's it. That's all that's holding it up there and stuff. I mean, you can have it, you can have the transmission dropped in 30 minutes if you got the tools. So, but that's the thing there and stuff. So um, then I was looking at this this whole going to California thing and stuff, guys. With the coronavirus and stuff on the rise. Um, like this year was just not a year and stuff for people. People still went on vacation or whatever and stuff. It's just I never considered doing any of that stuff. Me personally catching coronavirus. Um, I just know it's a lot of stuff I cut out, like sitting in restaurants and all that other crap there. So, um, you know, and staying in motels and stuff like that and everything. But I'm saying, this vacation, I'm going up here to LA, which got the highest rate. They got the second highest rate of coronavirus and stuff, man. Other than New York. So I mean, it's like, why put yourself in that danger just because you've never been to Los Angeles? But at the same time, I keep putting stuff off, and I'm like, if just like last year, I supposed to went last year. Actually, I supposed to went to the truck show last year, and I'm thinking, I blew the truck show off because I said, well, there'll always be others. Like, I'll go to the 2020 truck show. I was gonna go to the one in Kentucky and the one in Dallas. Cause I've never been, but I keep putting it off. I supposed to win in I was supposed to win last year, and I said, oh well, you know what, that's okay. I'll go in 2020. Then 2020 comes, and then now I ain't get a chance to go because of this whole coronavirus thing. And I'm like, I think that whole scene is gonna be dead now. I think that whole scene is gonna be dead now and stuff, because they already counseling. They're counseling a bunch of shows and stuff for next year. Well, not the truck show and stuff, but it's a lot of because I'm into the car scenes and stuff. But it's a lot of car shows that they're canceling for 2021. So, and they're like in March. Some of them in March and April. They already canceled them and stuff like that. So, I don't know, but that's the thing there and stuff, man. I never been, and I said I keep putting stuff off, and if I don't go, then I'll just keep saying the same thing over and over again. Like, well, you know what? I had an opportunity to go, I didn't go. Like, hey, it's no different than what I'm doing right now and stuff. Going up and down the road, running the same risk. Going, in and out of New York and stuff, up here to Massachusetts and stuff like that, and it's not any different than what I normally do and stuff. Just, hey, just don't sit down at restaurants and stuff like that and everything. And so I just want to go to physically see some of this stuff, because I owed it to myself. I like, man, 18 years, and I thought maybe I would get a load or something out there, like, but that's never happened either. Where every opportunity I had to go to California, something would always happen, and I just didn't go. And so here it is now. And I guess that's kind of the funny thing about life, is that when you are put in a, your whole life, you kind of struggle with finances and stuff, and then you finally get to a point where you get an understanding of the business. You know how things work, how things operate. The money's coming in consistently. You know what you're going to do on the best and worst case scenario. And, now things are more accessible to you that you probably used to dream about back in the day. So, my biggest thing now, since I got a better understanding of how to make money, I'm like, man, I'm really, really focused on just buying me a house cash. And so, I just been grinding, and the possibility and stuff is there. And so I'm like, well, this whole vacation thing is going to set me back a whole week. And that's what I've been kind of That's what I've been kind of toiling with and stuff like that, because I already got the trip paid for. It's just, shoot, I just need to go. But I'm like, I'm willing to let that $1,000 just, I'm willing to let that ride, and just say, hey man, I jumped the gun, just so I can stay out here and keep riding. But it's just this road takes a toll on you though, cause today, you know, a load that was supposed to be easy to run and stuff. I supposed to went down and picked this load up, and I supposed to be in Hatfield, and I decided to run up 95. I decided to run up 95 up the Jersey Turnpike and stuff and go across the GW rather than run the back way up 287 and stuff and go across the what they call it, what's called the Chris Cuomo Bridge now, but the Tappan Zee Bridge off of 287 and coming to Connecticut that way and stuff. And I'm like, I was good until I got on that GW, and I got on that GW, man, and it took me 3 hours. It took me 3 hours to go 4 miles. And it just totally killed my time and stuff. So now I'm sitting here in the first travel plaza in Connecticut, and I gotta take my break and stuff here. Then I got to go up to CNS and I got to hear their mouth and everybody else's mouth and stuff about something that could have been done easily. If it was anywhere else, it would have been an easy run and stuff. But I get caught in this traffic and all this stuff here. All my time is gone, and then I got the PC here, and this type of stuff, it just make you go stir crazy, man, because you got to have some kind of outlet, and you got to have some kind of outlet, man, and you just can't stay in this truck. It doesn't matter, the money, the money's gonna be here and stuff, but it'll be here when you get back. But if you keep staying in this truck, man, it's like, you're going to kind of snap a little bit. And it's just, it's great to make money. It's great to make money consistently. But, the thing is, it's always, when I'm out of time over here at the customer. So, I'm there, but I got to wait on that phone call and stuff, and then I got the e-log crawl and stuff to the door, and then you got to go back to sleep again just for them to knock on the door, call you, and tell you, okay, yeah, everything and stuff is good, and you got the e-log crawl back. So, you're working while you're on break, you're working while you're on break and stuff, and then when you actually get some time off and stuff, it's not somewhere you want to be at. Like I'm in North Carolina, I live in North Carolina. And I got plenty of stuff to do in North Carolina. And, I can take a day off in Massachusetts or over here in Jersey or something like that. But the second I get down in North Carolina, they burning my phone up and stuff, having to load. They go right back up here to the north or whatever, go back up there. All right, I got one going to Maine. Then you go up here to Maine, and then you sitting there for a whole day. And I'm like, I like to take this time that I ain't doing anything, but if I was there in North Carolina where I could take care of a lot of my stuff, then you're knocking two birds out one stone. But then you gotta go to the house, and then you gotta hurt. Like lately, man, I go to North Carolina. I ain't got time to stop. That's straight up. I don't even go by the house no more. I don't even know what the house looked like. I don't know what it looked like. I don't know what condition it's in. None of that stuff. I just, hey, if I don't get a phone call and stuff about the house, then I just assume everything's okay. That's it. And that's just the sacrifice and stuff that you got to do, because again, it's just the money's consistent. You got Mr. Ross. I totally agree on making money. That's great and all things. Balance, enjoy life. Yeah, it's. I mean, straight up, it's like you know, I don't want to be one of them ungrateful drivers and stuff like, man, cause you either you're complaining about not making money, or you're complaining about the fact that you're making money, but you ain't never got time to do anything and stuff. So I mean, it's not. I don't know, and that's just me and stuff, man. I guess that's me and stuff. My perspective is that I can never get the balance of the two. Either I got a bunch of home time, either I got a bunch of home time and no money, or I got a bunch of money and no home time. So I'd rather just go with the money and just not have no home time, because it's not very important to me right now. Because and I'm sitting there, I'm 40 years old. I'm 40 years old and stuff, and there's some realities and stuff that I got to reach. Is that, you know, um, I'm not gonna be one of these guys to go out here and finance a home for 30 years. That's a very, very arrogant way of looking at things. To say, well, I got 30 years in me to finance a home, and I know a brand new truck costs more than my house. But um, if I was buying trucks and stuff every 5 years, right? If I was buying trucks every 5 years and stuff, so you multiply what, five? You multiply five. Well, you go. Excuse me. You divide 30 into five and stuff, man, and that will give you six. So you can buy six trucks. You can buy six trucks and stuff. On your sixth truck, you have it paid off if you did every 5 years. So, and I know I just don't have it in me. I rather, you know, I'd rather get the money, just go pay the house and stuff like that. They already, they expect you to go the financial route anyway and stuff. But the whole purpose of buying a house is that if you got the cash money, because a house don't cost nothing to build. A bank is investing what, about 20. The realtors are investing about what, $15,000 in the house. So they invested $15,000 in the house. So if you got $40,000-$50,000 cash, right? They'll take that, because all they're gonna do is just flip it. They ain't got to wait on no bank to cut them no check, or no lawyers, no closing costs, none of that stuff involved. You got the cash money, and they talking about flip. They could take that 50. They take that 50 grand, right? And they just gonna go and flip some more houses. 15 grand a piece and stuff, because they know everybody else is gonna finance. So they willing to take a little bit of loss and stuff, or they just get the house and stuff, and where they supposed to break, I don't know. They supposed to break this amount. I guess 100 grand, 150 grand. That's how much they cost where I live in. And here it is, you got cash money and stuff like that. So yeah, they'll take that just to flip it and go buy some more houses and stuff. And meanwhile, I got a house paid for and done. So, but that's the way I'm looking at it. 'Cause I know it ain't no use of me talking about going out here and applying for a loan for a house. No, that's just not happening. I ain't doing that. With the type of cash that be flowing through my hands and stuff like that, I know, yeah, if I just stay consistent with it, I can just go ahead and buy the house and be done with it. I ain't talking about getting no mansion or none of that stuff there. It's different. If I was in a partnership and stuff, and somebody was saying, yeah, I got your back and all this stuff there, that's different. Then I could say, yeah, we could be looking at all these, $250,000 houses and stuff like that. But it's talking about just me by myself coming to the table, nah, and just everybody else and stuff just kind of coming along and stuff like that. Then hey, it is what it is. That's why I'm saying the other thing I'm looking at too and stuff about this partnership. This, a lot of guys get it. I got a phone call and stuff today about somebody in a relationship, and so they asked me what's my take on it and stuff like that. And so I don't know, like I said, I don't know him personally, I don't know the woman personally, but I wish that when I was a young person, and maybe when I was a young person, when I got married out of religious obligation. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you're young and you don't have, the only thing you know is, well, you really don't know anything and stuff like that. You're fresh out of high school, fresh out of high school and stuff. And so I'm like, it was standards and morals and stuff that was instilled in me to say, well, there was things that I wanted to do and things I didn't want to do. And so, you know, first serious relationship and all that stuff there. So, I'm working, she working, and we was working at the same job, and you're working at the same job and stuff. So she got a better job opportunity. It was paying better money. It's just our schedules was conflicting, and so what was suggested was that we get a place together. And so her parents, just like mine and stuff, my parent, my father was very my father's very old school and stuff like that. So he didn't believe in me staying in the house and stuff with a girl and stuff, and staying in the house with a woman and not be married to her and stuff like that. So and then of course her parents and stuff was religious and stuff like that. So I got we got the place anyway, but it was with the promise that we were going to get married and stuff like that. So I didn't do all the waiting around and all that stuff there. Like I proposed, we went to church that Sunday, and you got a preacher up here and stuff, and everybody in the church looking at you, understanding, okay, oh man, y'all moved in and y'all living together and stuff, and they on this shack and stuff. Like, man, I mean, that was just the whole thing. So I'm like, to be blessed, so to speak, I wanted to do the right thing and stuff. And so, I proposed to her that Sunday, and we went and got married the next day, that Monday. I like, why wait? Why wait and stuff like that, because all the other stuff we can do. And so she agreed, and we went and got married. There was no engagement period and stuff, or waiting for a ceremony and stuff like that. We went and got the license that Monday morning, and we was married that afternoon at her mother's house, at her mother's and dad's house and stuff. That's where we got married and stuff. So now you see, when you don't know, right, people can say things to you, and you kind of convicted by it, because you want to understand and you want to do the right thing. You want to do the right thing because we're all good people. Despite what anybody says and stuff like that. And again, that's just my philosophy. We're all born good. We're all born good and stuff. It's just we're trying to seek and get understanding. And so that's what I was doing. But I wish that somebody would have told me the difference between love and, like feelings, infatuation, feelings and stuff, and then business. And they would have told me about business and stuff. And so I'm like, I look at the whole, you look at the whole relationship type thing, and it's mostly business. In fact, that's all it is. It's business, because feelings is something that can come, but it can fade too. You in it, you like stuff for a little while and stuff, and then you're done with it. And so just like right now, what's that game system? The PS5 right now. I consider myself a gamer growing up. I ain't no stranger to it and stuff like that. But over the years, I'm just not excited about it and stuff. Like, when the PlayStation 1 first came out, man, I was, oh man, I couldn't sleep. I just had to have one. PlayStation 2, same thing. But when it got around 3, when we started getting the 3 era and the 4 era, I just wasn't excited about it anymore. So now we're at PS5 and it's out, and I'm like, the old me would have broke the old me would have broke my neck, man. I just to get that system. I just had to have it, or life isn't worth living. But now I know I'm not gonna get it. I had a I had a PlayStation 4 sitting in this truck. Let's see, I got it Black Friday of 2018, and I probably played that thing maybe about a month. And then I sat it down and I ain't did anything else with it and stuff. It just sat in there in the cupboard. So I just gave it to my brother. He's excited about it, but I mean, I didn't do anything with it. So now, okay, you gonna get a PS5? No, because it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things and stuff. What's going on, Mr. Turner? That give me pleasure, right? But I know it's an emotion. But when it comes to business, right? Business is universal. Business is universal stuff. As far as feelings, what makes me happy might not make you happy. It's plenty of stuff. Food might make a person happy, a woman. It's so many things and stuff. So it's not universal. But when it comes to business is universal, and it's universal stuff, and it has a base. And that base is upon your economy. You got to have an economic base. If you don't have an economic base, then what good is anything? What good is resource and stuff? And so what's universal is the fact that in order for you to ascertain resource, right, of any kind on this planet, you have to have capital. That's all, whether it's the dollar, the euro, the yen, it all contributes to dollars. You got to have that and stuff. And so everything is a business, including relationships and stuff. You say, well, all right, let's move in together and get a place. That's business, because everything in that house is going to consist of some kind of economic, you got to have some kind of economic base in order to get the resources stuff in the house to pay your bills. You got rent, light, water, those fundamentals, food, clothing. You're gonna have those things and stuff there and stuff. And so, feelings ain't gonna get it. You gotta have an economic plan and stuff in order to have a house. If you're living with somebody, or even if you decide to get married and stuff, you go get married. For those of you that are not married and stuff like that, it costs, you got to go get a marriage license. You got to go get a marriage license. So that should be the key indicator right there and stuff. That, well, hey, man, this thing is about business. It's about money. It's about money. In order for you to sit there and say, you're already doing everything and stuff that consists of a marriage anyway. So it's like, there's benefits in it. There's benefits in this stuff. It's just we look at the feeling side of a relationship and stuff, and then think that's supposed to sustain us for some reason. When at the end of the day and stuff, it's about the dollars. It's about the money. That's the first thing you got to have and stuff. You go down there, you can go down there to the clerk of courts and say, man, listen, me and this woman, or whoever your significant other is and stuff, we are in love, right? We are in love. And they'll tell you, okay, that's great, that's wonderful. Now, in order to get this license, you got to have some dollars. That's all to it. You ain't got the dollars, they're not gonna give you no charity license or none of that stuff there. You gotta have the money, and you gotta have two witnesses. You got to have the money, and you got to have two witnesses. And then if you decide, and to let you know, it's always about business, is that you got to get the marriage license in the county. You got to get your marriage license in the county of which you're getting married in. So that county has to collect that fee. So, it's about business. No matter where you go and stuff, it's about business. And then if you're not gonna go to a pastor somebody that's certified and stuff to marry you in that county, then they have to do it and stuff. That's why you got to have the two witnesses. So they got to do it there. And yeah. So if you ain't got the mind made up about how you gonna do it and stuff, they gonna do it right there. But they need the two witnesses, and they'll go get somebody certified to run through this ceremony and stuff like that, and then you marry, just like that. Now to get out of it, it don't cost it. It's like trouble. It's easy to get into, hard to get out of. I don't think a marriage license will go. It ain't gonna run you over $100. But a divorce, an uncontested divorce, is starting anywhere and stuff between $600 and $700. Right off the rip, that's uncontested. So, in order to qualify uncontested, you got to make. They say, well, do you have any property that you have to divide? They don't say nothing about children. They don't say nothing about the kids. The kids come second. First thing is, do you have any property that you're trying to divide? So now you got to divide everything that you ascertain in the marriage. If you got houses, cars, no matter who bought them, y'all got, you got to find a way and stuff to split that up. So it's always been about business. It's always been about business stuff. Then they say, okay, well, the children. Now, okay, who gets custody of the children? Because when you talk about the children, that's business too. That's business too, because whoever has custody of the child, then the other person has to pay child support. They got to pay child support and stuff. Same thing. Well, you got to pay alimony and all this other stuff here and there. I mean, if that's the way it goes, if it's a contested divorce, and that's what everybody's talking about, splitting all this stuff up. You got to split up the house. You got to split the car up. You got any timeshare. You got to split all that up. You got to split it, or you got to buy it from the person, regardless of the fact you may have bought the whole thing yourself. You may have bought it yourself and stuff, but if that other person got good representation, and the representation is based upon what you accumulated. All of it is business. That's why I challenge anybody and stuff, man. If you don't believe me, go to court on Monday. Go to court on a Monday and stuff and sit in any kind of divorce proceeding and stuff, man. You'll see what it's about. It's about money. It's about business. Now I'm saying it shouldn't stop anybody or deviate you and stuff. It's just, I wish that somebody would have told me that, hey, look, marriage is about business. And so if your plan is not centered around something that's economically sound, right, for the both of you, then I don't suggest it. I don't suggest you and her moving in together, because when me and her separated, when I came home, all I had was a recliner and a bed. That was it. All the other stuff was gone, that big screen TV I just bought, that brand new wash and dry, the couches and all that other stuff there, all that nice stuff that I went and worked hard for and stuff, all of it was gone. And I understand that it ain't nothing to get mad over. People get mad over and stuff like that. If you understand that it's business from the beginning, then like, oh man, shoot, I'll kill this woman, I'll kill this person before I let them get all this stuff. It's about business. If you know that from the start, then ain't no point of you going out there doing it. It ain't no point of you even doing it. So that's the thing, that they don't push the business side of stuff until it's too late. And you learn about all this stuff, man, and that's just life in general. It's like when you learn about, hey man, everything is about business, it's too late to do anything. Like, God knows, if I was more fixated on the business side of stuff, then the feelings and emotions, man, I could have been way ahead of the game. And it ain't no sense of saying, okay, well that's what it's oh, life isn't about that and stuff like, right, okay. Says the person that doesn't have any kind of acquiring of owning anything and stuff like that. And saying, don't get me wrong, some people can make it work. There are some anomalies out here. There are some anomalies out here and stuff, but it's very few. It's very few anomalies. They can get together and they can make things work through thick and thin and stuff, man. But for the most of us, it's just we get caught up. We get caught up in all this other stuff, man, and we don't think, oh man, you know what? It's about business. It's about business, partnerships, stuff like that. It's about business. And if you understand it's about business, then you'll be more organized, right? In what you need to do with your money. You'll be more organized and stuff, man. But when you sitting there, when you thinking with your heart, when you thinking with your heart and not your wallet, you just make a lot of you make a lot of carelessness and stuff, and then we try to add feelings into business. And you add feelings into business, man, and it's just so everything goes south, man. So but I guess that's just me rambling on and stuff about that's me rambling on about my perspective on my perspective on things and stuff. Like I said, it shouldn't deviate you. It's just, hey man, if you're gonna talk seriously about anything that you do in life, just understand it's business. And you want to see where, you want to be real with yourself and stuff to see where you stand. But the people that you're going into business with, they have to also understand that philosophy too. Otherwise that and stuff, man, I can't see anything else being successful. Cause like I said, it's just business is universal. It's a universal language that everybody speaks. Regardless of the fact, if you speak English here, if you speak Spanish, Cantonese, Mediterranean, Arabic, Japanese, everybody understands. Everybody understands the economical base. So you either paying rent, paying mortgage, paying a light bill, water bill, you buying clothes and you buying food. And then you got your dream, and then of course you got your dreams about the other stuff that you want, the nice car, the nice house, all this other stuff there. And people want to say, oh well, that's driven by, they say all that is driven by sex, right? Like sex is the reason why you get out here and you do all this stuff. And no, that's not what it is. Some people do it, and then they find out and stuff at the end of the day. It's like, you ain't got to have all this stuff not to get sex. You ain't got to have, well, I ain't gonna say this, you ain't got to have the nice car, the nice house, and all this stuff there. Now, if you got a little bit of money, if you got a little bit of money and stuff, and like I said, there's none exempt. It's no point in saying, okay, well, that's just for the women. Men do it too. Men do it too, and it doesn't matter what your orientation is. What you prefer. If you're saying gender loving or whatever and stuff, man, the thing is, what you trying to get. If you got a little bit of money, you can get it. You can get that right there and stuff. A car doesn't determine what kind of sex you're gonna get, or a house. It's just that money. If you got, if your money's long and stuff, then you go a long time. Your money's short, then well, it's gonna be real quick. But it ain't to say that you ain't, you cut off from access. You ain't gotta look good. You ain't gotta look good or nothing like that and stuff, man. Somebody will give you what you're looking for. if you got the right type of money. But I mean, um, when you business oriented and stuff, it changes the whole dynamics altogether. Then you understand it's far beyond the physical pleasures and stuff, right, that you can get from things that so called make you happy, you know, because business is something that you pass to the next generation. If you did business poorly, and stuff, then that's what your children are going to inherit. That's what the next generation is going to inherit. If you did things poorly, if you're wealthy, then you're going to pass down that wealth to the next generation. And so that's what everybody's trying to get a piece of. Like, man, hey, listen, you know, how much wealth did this person ascertain and stuff in their life? Not about how much love they had. Oh man, he showed it a lot of love and stuff like that. I mean, no, they ain't looking at that. How much wealth did you ascertain while you was alive, so you can pass it on to the next generation? That's what they gonna divide up. That's what they gonna divide and split up and stuff like that, and then take it and build upon that. But your love, you know, that fades out. Your love is like the wind. It's something that you can't inherit. You feel it. Sometimes it's strong, but it ain't always strong all the time and stuff. So then some days it's almost non-existence. But that wealth is something that you can put your hands on. That's a tangible object. And they looking how much you gonna pass down. Like, all right, after we bury this person, how much wealth is gonna be passed around and stuff. That's why I said what I said. I'm like, a lot of people didn't agree. Like, hey, when I when I pass away, you better not be putting all, man, the wealth and stuff. You talking about putting it in the ground? I might as well, if that's the case, when I pass, I might well just take just give me the life insurance money and stuff and just bury it in the ground. Just give me the cash, right, and bury it with me. That's what I might as well do and stuff. And all my stuff, all my belongings, yeah, bury it with me. No, you separate it, you build upon it. That's the thing there and stuff. I ain't here no more. So, and people didn't believe. They didn't believe and stuff that I was serious about that and stuff until I went down there